So it continues. We're still in the early stages of this project, but we've committed to making a fiberglass mold of the body once it's finished. But in the meantime, we can build the car out of anything. We're creating things as we go, changing things on the fly. It's definitely unusual, but I have a few ideas on how to pull it off.
Ian, how you doing?
What's going on?
What did you do? That's pretty cool.
I got the whole engine compartment kind of squared away. You know, I went with aluminum, and then I think like a riveted final detail would be pretty neat. You know, something real shiny down in there.
As I walk in, you know, we got the back fenders kind of in place. It's still like a hodgepodge. You know, like Ian said, anything goes, because this is just like the clay mold.
I love this because we still could put another element in here.
You can do whatever you want in here. You know, this surface is represented. I really want to get these fenders so that there's no holes in the back of the car. Looking at it now, it's really loose, sort of like a patchwork quilt, not even stitched together yet. But I'm seeing the finished flesh on this thing, and it's got to be set up correctly. I mean, the idea of screwing this Porsche quarter panel onto this Sterling body seems kind of strange.
That ain't strange, that's like crazy.
Yeah.
Madman. Now I'm getting excited again.
So what I was thinking was I just took this aluminum sheet, super light, and I just formed it over a piece of tube. That way it'll radius down into the engine compartment. So this is gonna pop on here. It's gonna do the same thing as everything else we've built so far. It's just gonna represent a surface. Yeah.
Slight body modification here.
I'm gonna have to put something in there to hold that up. Bundled sweatshirt technique, sponsored by Carhartt. Thank you very much. See? Now you're solid.
We got fiberglass, we got aluminum, we got a piece of my shoe, now we got a sweatshirt. Come on now.
Nobody breathe. See that?
There goes my Sterling.
We got aluminum foil, we got duct tape. It looks pretty rough, and there's a word for it, and it ain't a good word.
Custom bodywork. So this is all pretty distracting. I think we should just primer gray this area. That way we just have like a monotone looking thing we could build up off of. The aluminum foil just wasn't suspending itself like I had hoped. So I wanted to reinforce the whole taillight area with metal before we finalized the design.
I could save this aluminum for my sandwiches, for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches tomorrow.
I'm doing this fast and efficient, bunch of strips of a little thicker material. It's gonna end up right. This is just another super fast mock-up, you know, just to see what we're working with. By getting the go sign from that foil thing, you know, it's just a little bit rounder surface. I really just want to get rid of the rest of that Sterling in the rear quarter. The vents I know I don't want to see, so I'm going to fit in some panels there just to get this thing so there's no holes in the back of the car. Well, just spray that gray, see what we come up with. Stand back on it now. Let's take a good whiff of those paint fumes and start to dream.
Man, I just go, that's like more like it.
See, that totally changes the whole thing. Now you're not looking at all these panels. You just kind of blur your eyes a little bit, and you got a fender, man.
Ian's gonna do the other side the same, and I can't wait to see it after it's all put together.
Everything that's happening here is pure sculpting. If you look at a sculptor, they start with an armature, and they keep adding and adding whatever it takes to bring to the surface. I know it's gotta be refined, but we need to get there somehow. Got this passenger side pretty much matched to what Victor and I agreed on over there. Where I'm at now is I need to get this surface workable. What are you crying about? It's like the freaking pitcher walking up to the catcher in a baseball game. It's like a whole thing going on here. He says it's time to put the fiberglass on. can't make any calls until we see that surface represented. This primer coat was purely visual, just to get all the different colors out of the way. I gotta sand through, get the majority of these screw heads off, and then I'm just gonna lay a couple sheets of fiberglass over this work we did, just to give it a little more strength. Right now there's stuff all over the place, different heights, different materials. The fiberglass is gonna glue it all together and make a nice surface to work off. I want to be sure that this fiberglass is going to stick, so in this thing that I'm accomplishing is just giving some texture for the fiberglass to grip to. Truth be told, I'm not the most professional fiberglass guy. I have limited experience, but it's fascinating, so I keep trying. This is the problem we're facing with the metal. When you push down here, it wants to buckle up. As soon as this is wet, all those fibers are going to relax. The only advantage of using fiberglass at this stage of the game is that it's super flexible and it will bond to aluminum, fiberglass, and steel. To weld that thing, you'd have to make it out of one style of metal. Big, long, drawn-out process. It's a little like mopping the floor. It's a little like pouring syrup on your waffles. I laid up that fiberglass, it's set just fine. I put a quick skim of body filler on and cut it back just to see what our heights were. And I could see already, this taillight mock-up we did is gonna be way low. What I have here is, this is the hip of the fender coming down, and the Porsche naturally dips way down into the taillight. I'm gonna just fiberglass right over these, and we're gonna have to cut new taillight holes. I feel good about this, you know? It's not just anybody. You can throw a bunch of sheet metal screws and saran wrap and build a supercar, but watch me go. Everything looks so rough. I just want to get it looking more like a fender when Victor gets here. So this is less auto body tech and more fun body filler tech. Purely like icing on a cake. Fiberglass is hairy and scary. See, this stuff's a little bit smoother. As loose as it seems, I think it's starting to flesh out, and everybody's gonna understand why I went this way. The idea here is to just get these two fenders pretty close, get a good representation. You can see the rear of the car is fleshing out. It looks pretty freaking massive. Super wide, super low. I can't wait to show Victor.
I came in today, Ian, doing some body work. I used to do that myself. I said, give me the sanding block, and I started and shoot. I didn't lose a darn thing.
I mean, you could tell I'm totally committed. When's the last time you see me doing body work?
It's good to see Victor getting his hands dirty, you know, doing some of the body work. We also got these two tools from Eastwood that'll help ensure that these lines on the car are symmetrical.
We're pretty close. And I'd like to see that in primer so it all, you know, ties in and we could get the big picture to make sure the fenders are the same.
Oh yeah, for sure. Primer gets rid of all the different tones. The gray just evens everything out. It's the best way to look at something in progress.
It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Flattening it out one tone, you can really see the shapes. A little refining on the driver's side, but I mean, that's a freaking massive rear end.
How much more work do you need to make a mold? You need it finished, right?
Oh yeah, the better we make the model, the better the mold comes out. We could either turn the car around and start on the front, or if there's anything else you want to change back there, I'd say it's a perfect time to do it.
Now it's like a whole bunch of like bumper back there or body. It's like nothing but rear end showing. I need just one thing to soften that up, and it's got to be massive. We need to do some kind of crazy exhaust, right?
Well, I mean, whatever you're thinking, you know, we've done a pretty substantial rearrangement in the back end so far. Everything here is really starting to come together, but I think the one big thing is going to be the exhaust that sets this rear end apart from anything you look at. The 911 exhaust had these big exhausts coming out under each side of the bottom. You know, if you wanted to mask that, maybe have them come out through these holes or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking something kind of massive here in the middle. 3 or 4 muffler pipe sticking out of the back. Hey, I had a dream, you know.
My initial idea in my mind was to see this massive car go by you, like what the heck was it? And all you see is this big old pipe with some fins coming out almost like a bomb.
All the supercars got the fins on the bottom. Well, hey, guess what? I want the fins on the top and I want the fins on the side. Almost like a propeller to a boat, but straight.
Okay. Victor's coming up with all these ideas about multiple exhaust tips, some kind of really exotic designs, and I'm saying let's just try to get some real world structure to this theory. Let's just make like a cardboard mock-up, come up with some kind of concept. All right, so whatever diameter exhaust you use, it's up to you, but I got this tubing from the fiberglass. I'll just cut this cardboard off. We'll have something to work with. Way too small.
Too small. That's like embarrassing, you know. We need some like volume here, man.
So something more like this or this diameter, like way big.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Remember, massive.
Let's just tape them on the car, see kind of what we got proportion-wise. So, I mean, 3 sort of fits like that. That's an even better mock-up than freaking cardboard and drawing, huh? Well, stand back and look at that. I mean, 5-inch exhaust is pretty substantial.
I was thinking of having a fin, and a fin, but I only need the fins on top, on the bottom, and the 2 on the side. And it changes the whole back end of that car. And then put fins on the bottom. Yeah, exactly, a fin, okay.
Victor's description of this theory is pretty elaborate. It's a bomb, it's a jet engine, it's fast, it's hot. A little hard to figure out exactly how it's going to end up. We're just trying to get this concept as close in the mock-up to what's going to happen in the real world.
Ian, I feel like I'm in arts and crafts. I failed arts and crafts in school.
So this is the same size diameter as the tape, so I mean, that's a pretty substantial exhaust pipe.
And you know what, as I'm looking at it, maybe 2 would do it. Check it out, stand back, see what you think.
I kind of like 3. Shop inspector's checking it out as well. I think he's gonna have the final word.
Dude, what do you think? Cool? All right, I guess he said that's cool. He wants
3's
3.
the number. 3's the number. I think it's gonna stick.
As I left that, I mean, it was pretty loose mock-up. I mean, a lot of things could be changed or interpreted, but that's his problem.
The thing is, when Victor's describing all this and coming up with a cardboard concept, I'm really starting to see my own vision of it, and that's the challenge in this whole thing. I gotta build it. Hands down, this is a pretty loose mock-up. Victor and I decided on 3 exhaust ports with a series of fins. The rest is kind of up to me. So I got a bunch of scrap stuff from the metal supply. This is aluminum plate. It's 1/2 inch thick. They just had all these squares in the remnants pile and a bunch of these cylinders. All I had to go off was this cardboard template and a couple rolls of tape, so you could see it's pretty darn near that. So these fins will be set up kind of crosshair style at 90-degree intervals, and then they'll all screw together. In a perfect world, I would have a lathe and a mill. I would probably set this in the mill on the slider deal and have lines perfectly parallel with each other. But I don't have a mill. I've got a magic marker, a somewhat flat table, and a roofing square. I don't have a lathe. I'm using a marker. Hey, a marker on the table is gonna be fine. Stick with me. One thing I'll concede to is the fact that the design and development of this piece is a little unorthodox, but that's just business as usual around here. It's gonna sit right in the center of that square. Your fins are all already dictated as far as how they go, 90 degrees apart from each other. I can come in with the plate right up to that line and set it parallel with this here and scribe straight up. Got this really rudimentary jig on the table. What it's going to afford me is the ability to mark each fin location symmetrically. And then they'll all screw together. So I know we're going to get these parts polished in the end. So the idea of it being modular, they'll be able to easily polish it and then we can reassemble it. The whole thing here is the billet aluminum fad. When it looks high-tech, machine finish, looks expensive, it looks classy. I'm gonna do it without the expense or the class. Now, these are all together. They go back onto their jiggy jig, and we set up the design for these fins. Victor's fins looked a lot like this square. They were triangular. Instead of having this pointy triangle shape, I think it should go straight back, more jet-like. Sort of like that. This is inside the car. Probably the majority of this is in the car. So really, all you're seeing is like that. This is a pretty big plate to cut. Could use any type of high-tech machinery in the world. But I think I'm just gonna use the common jigsaw. I mean, this looks good, but I want it to look great. I think I'm gonna take a router and then make a radius edge on all this. The dog's head is spinning. I don't think he's convinced for one iota that this is gonna work. Hey, not too bad for a couple carpentry tools, huh? What do you think? That edge looks so cool. I'm gonna do the same to these tubes. What's not to like about that? I was thinking that having these stacked together, it could be added to by just putting the spacer through here. And in effect, what that does is make it look like this fin travels right through and makes it look a little bit lighter. This thing is really starting to come together. I think the shop inspector is even starting to get convinced. Again, this is all still just roughed out. If you have to cut it or modify it, so we will. So you can see, it's gonna go right in the middle of that license plate opening. See now. Now he's finally conceding. We're just gonna cut out in here and then something like this. It's gotta go in a good 8 or 9 inches. Aha! So the whole concept is these being the stock exhausts, we're gonna want something a little rowdier sounding, but we'll be able to work within the parameters of the stock exhaust setup, aiming right through here. Oh yeah, that's totally cool. That's exactly what I was hoping to achieve. There may even be more fins coming out the width of the car below, but that's rocket ship. Looks like it's gonna fit. It can be adjusted later. I just have one other element that I want to surprise Victor with. I'm very happy with everything. Mostly that it's like, can be like skee ball.
Ian, how's it going?
Hey man, got that exhaust mocked up.
That's rad, man.
After I open the door, I look straight to the car. I know I say, wow, this was wow.
That ain't what I give you when I left.
Yeah, no, I made a few changes. Victor walks in and I can tell right away he's digging it. It's a far cry from a cardboard tube.
And it's centered with the car and it gives it just enough bulk to give it like, look, I got the power behind me. He's thinking, hey, is that okay with you? What's he looking on the table for? What's there?
Oh, the last thing we were doing when you walked in was these three. I forgot about them until he just reminded me.
Hey.
So you know that intake you had over there in the other shop? I took 3 of the horns, the intake horns, and I made them fit the tubes here. These work as an additional element, like crosshairs. So they just go in like a key, right? You index it, you turn it, And they clip right in.
What a difference. Dude, thanks. Dude, thanks.
I almost forgot about that.
That exhaust system is wicked. I mean, look at that.
What we've achieved so far is pretty solid. The rear end's looking good. We haven't even considered the front of the car. So we're really just still in the clay model stage of this thing. You know, anything can happen with the taillights. The exhaust will go in on the final body. I think we should spin this car around and get onto the front.
Again, we just finished.
Right.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know.
You know, right away, Ian, hey, I'm slowing the build down. We're talking too much. He wants to get on the front, and I'm going, wow, well, let me absorb the back, Ian.
Challenge is really making this thing match front, back, side to side. I think that if we get these two front fenders and some kind of a grille bumper represented, that'll give us the answers to the side pods and the roof line.
Yeah, because that roof line's got to change, like, dramatically.
Hey, you picked the Sterling, man, not me. So the same thing goes for the nose of this. You saw the process in the back. Anything you find, file cabinets, space helmets, you name it. Anything you want to put on the front, we just fiberglass over it, and that becomes the model.
I thought I was lost in the back. I'm really lost in the front.
I've got some ideas. I know Victor's head is spinning. What we achieved in the rear, I can't wait to transfer that energy into the nose of the car.